it's our 91st episode of Tea Time, and in this week's episode, we interviewed Sarah Kaufman, who's a cover designer here at HarperCollins. But first, let's get into what's new this week. We have 2 new books on sale this week, Better Than Perfect by Melissa Cantor, and The Distance Between Lost and Found by Catherine Holmes. This one is about a girl who basically goes off into the woods with her school to go like camping, and then they get lost, but she gets lost in the woods with a bunch of people that she basically hates. And I can't even imagine what that would be like, because if I was stuck in the woods with people I hate, I would probably just kill them and hide their bodies. In this one, in Better Than Perfect, this girl, basically she's got this perfect life, perfect SAT scores, perfect boyfriend, perfect parents, perfect everything. And all of a sudden something happens and everything gets flipped. And now this perfect life that she has is upside down, and she's basically just trying to figure out, what do you do when your perfect life is no longer perfect? I would probably weep all the time and just watch reruns and binge things on Netflix and eat donuts. But I do that anyway. I do that all the time. Okay, so clearly my life isn't perfect. Next week we have a bunch of new releases that I'm very, very excited about. And first up is Quake, which is the 3rd and final book in the Pulse trilogy. By Patrick Carman. Quake is the end of a dystopian trilogy where teenagers can do things with their mind, like move objects and teleport and like do cool stuff. And I'm assuming they can lift things out of the ground, like trees and towers and rock formations. Either way, this awesome trilogy is over next week. So if you haven't started it, you should do it. I am so excited for A Wicked Thing by Rhiannon Thomas, you guys, because I love fairy tale retellings. I love, 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 love them. And this one is a retelling of Sleeping Beauty, but it takes place after she wakes up, you know? And she's like, oh, hey, prince, guy, you just kissed me. That was not cool. I don't really know who you are, but, you know, I guess now I have to marry you. And also everyone I know and love is dead. So that sucks, you know. So basically this book takes a look at what happens after, you know, Prince Charming rescues Sleeping Beauty, and she's just like, I'm not having any of that. So, you know, I love this book. It's amazing. And it'll be on sale next week. Also next week we have No Parking at the End Times by Brian Bliss. This is his debut novel, and it's the story of a girl whose family joins a doomsday cult, but then the world doesn't end. And so they're basically stuck living out of their parents' van with no money, no possessions, no home. Oh God. But it's a very interesting look at sort of what happens when your parents are the ones that screw up, and how do you deal with that? I'm trying to decide how I would deal with my parents screwing up. What punishment would I give them? And the last book that we have on sale next week is Unleashed, which is the sequel to Uninvited by Sophie Jordan. And we are big Sophie Jordan fans at Epic Reads. We love all of her adult romances and her Firelight series, which is about dragon shapeshifters. And it's awesome. So we're very excited to finally be able to read what happens after Uninvited. And you will too, because it's on sale next week. Oh my God. Also, what's happening over on the Epic Reads blog this week is my favorite week of the year, although it happens a couple times a year, so it's my favorite one of many weeks that happen around the year. Cover reveal week! Oh my God, I love cover reveals. Basically, I'm a sucker for design. I'm obsessed with design. I think design is pretty much the coolest, which is sort of why I wanted to interview Sarah Kaufman, which you'll see in a second, as soon as I'm done babbling. This week, we're revealing a bunch of covers for books that are going on sale in the fall, so you've got a while to wait, but their covers are so pretty to look at, so at least you have something nice to look at while you wait. In case you missed it, we already revealed the cover for Ice Like Fire by Sarah Rosh, which is the sequel to Snow Like Ashes. I'm obsessed with this book cover. We even got to do a little Q&A with the cover designer and the artist, the guy that made the chakram and like all the cool stuff that you see. So that's over on the Epic Reads blog, and there's new releases happening all the time, so follow us on Twitter or just check our blog every day to see what's new. Oh my God. If you guys bought all of these books in the next 2 weeks, this is how many would go on your shelf. I have no room on my shelf anymore. Don't drop them. Hey, Crumpets. I am here with Sarah Kaufman, and she's a senior designer here at HarperCollins. Welcome to Tea Time.
Why, thank you.
I feel like I'm, my own talk show host here. Like you should just dance on. You should dance on next time.
With like
next
a curtain and a studio audience.
Yeah, and the sound, the audience sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that next time. Our crumpets out there have a lot of questions for you because one of the things that we love more than reading books is petting the book covers.
Oh, yeah.
And undressing the book covers.
Oh, yeah.
And basically just obsessing and dissecting book covers. So I'm really excited. You're our first designer that we've ever had on the show. Yes.
Ooh.
And so we have a lot of questions, and I'm just going to dive right in. So Zick and Zone on YouTube, what's up, has asked, how did you get your job at HarperCollins to design book covers?
I went to school for media production, minored in art, and they had a job opening at St. Martin's in the marketing department on the adult side.
Oh, that's cool.
So I got in that way and then just sort of moved my way up, applied at Harper Marketing, worked at the children's department there for a while, and then switched over to book design.
That's pretty much like a lot of people's dream jobs. Would you
It's
say,
a lot
is
of
it
fun.
like a dream job?
It's my dream job. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know it was a thing, but it's really fun. I'm really, really fortunate to be able to do it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a question from Grace Poor on YouTube. Hi, Grace. What sort of education do you need or suggest for a job in book design?
I would definitely go with all of the Adobe programs.
So you need to know
Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. Those are the three main ones.
So the next question comes from Ashley Correa, and I'm really excited about this one because I wanted to ask you it myself. What are your top 5 favorite designs that you have done?
That I've done by my very own self.
Yes, that you were in charge of.
So I got to do Neil Gaiman's Graveyard Book graphic novels.
Dude.
They're really heavy and fun.
These are heavy.
Yeah.
Wait, I've always wondered, you know how like some books are just like heavier than others?
Yeah.
Why? Is that just...
Paper.
It's just the type of paper?
Yeah. Lauren Oliver's Panic.
You guys know this cover. This is really cool.
That was a really, really, really cool cover to work on. Not only because of the design, but how we produced this effect here, which is actually a spray, it's crazy. It's like a spray glue, and then a bunch of silver foil gets put on it, and then it gets ripped off.
That's just like an extra step that, most books... This is a special book.
It is a special book. I love the Sea of Shadows and its companion that's not quite...
It's not out yet.
Empire of Night.
This
is
cool.
Just
How was this... Tell me about this guy.
the Fiend Hound.
Oh, is that what it's... That's what it's called?
Fiend
The Fiend
Hound.
Hound.
Yes.
How did you make the Fiend Hound?
An artist by the name of Marta. She did it in Photoshop. And
That's not a photograph?
No, there's not
Hound
a
in
real...
life?
No, sadly, one has not been caught in the wild yet.
So we have a really awesome question from Imogen Isles over on YouTube. How much does the current competition determine how you go about designing a cover? Would you say you create more with the novel in mind or marketability?
It's a combination of both.
Yeah.
It's probably 50-50.
50-50?
Yeah, I'd say definitely we're not going to put something on the cover of a book that doesn't make sense for the book.
Right.
So, but we...
So no flying unicorns in space?
No, not this time.
Okay.
But even though that would probably
Someone write
sell
that
really
book.
well.
I know,
It probably
right?
would, but it would make no sense. But we do have boards.
Boards?
Boards!
Oh, like an actual board.
Like an actual board.
Oh my god.
So for Red Queen, this is the editor's comp board. Can you see this? Okay.
There we go.
So these books are all of the books that are comparable to Red Queen. So if you were a fan of the Selection and Graceling, you're probably going to like Red Queen.
So you guys know those, like, if you like this and that.
You might like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's this here.
That's cool.
And then where Red Queen lives at the bookstore is Fantasy Adventure. And these are some of the books that are in Fantasy Adventure.
So we're going to get into some Red Queen stuff now. We're very excited because we're obsessed with this cover ever since we debuted it like last July. Everyone has been so pumped for this cover.
Here's the final book.
Just going to hold it.
It's so pretty. So when we got the summary, the editor and the author both wanted a crown on the cover.
Okay.
And I believe it was the editor's idea to put blood on an inverted crown.
See, look. Crown is upside down. Do you guys ever notice that?
No.
that's a normal way crown, but then that would just be weird. Blood going.
We did explore that option actually of
Oh,
having
really?
the blood go up, but
that'd be cool.
it was weird.
Defying gravity.
Yeah, it didn't take place in space. It's upside down, I think, because this is
The world's upside down and
well,
symbolism.
her world gets turned upside down, and
Yeah.
anytime you can take something that's sort of normal and put it a little bit awkward, it's just a little bit more interesting.
It's true.
So,
How did you come up with this overall concept, though? Like, what was your inspiration for it? Why go so, like, minimal?
you don't see a lot of that in YA, which was another reason why this was kind of a hard sell.
Yeah.
This book cover was kind of hard to get through because I think it was a little bit different than what we had seen at the time.
See, that's the part of book design that I feel like a lot of people don't realize is that a book designer can't just like design it and be like, okay, it's done, now it's gonna go on the shelves. Like, this is what I think is great, so that's how it goes. Like, there's a lot of people making these decisions.
Yeah, and thank God for them because like I don't know how to sell a book. Sales knows how to sell a book. So
Otherwise,
I would love to know
all
what
of your
sales...
covers would just be rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah, it would be awful. So it's great that we have all of this different input from everyone,
Right.
and everyone does have a say.
So, to end this tea time, I want to know what are some of your favorite book cover designs that you didn't work on?
Okay.
All the Right Places by Jennifer Niven.
That's just a beautiful cover. It's just simple and clean and elegant and beautiful, and I want to pick it up, and I want to know what this book is about just by looking at the cover, which is the perfect way to describe a successful book cover, in my opinion. And then, of course, everybody loves 1,000 Pieces of You.
Everyone is obsessed with this cover.
It's so great.
It's so cool. Ah! It's so beautiful.
Yeah. My Heart and Other Black Holes, and it just feels like actual embroidery.
Didn't they actually embroider it and like take a picture? Because I think some embroider like tweeted about it. They were like,
Really?
"Oh, look, there's my thing," and I was like, "What? What are your favorite covers? Tell us in the comments below." Are you on Twitter?
I am. It's Stinky Sarah D.
If you guys have any other questions for Sarah Kaufman, you can tweet her at Stinky Sarah D.
Yeah.
That is the greatest Twitter handle name ever. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Tea Time.
Thanks for having me.
And we have to do a little book shimmy to say goodbye to our crumpets. So.
Oh my goodness.
Do you know what book shimmy is?
I'm
Yeah,
a little
you just a little
nervous.
shimmy.
Okay.
Don't be scared. Oh my God, can you shimmy and keep that on your head?
Probably. Is that weird?
Yeah, no, it's cute.
It's totally normal. This is what everybody does.
Sup, Elizabeth?
Hi, Margo.
How's it going?
Pretty great. How are you?
What are you doing?
Oh, just writing some ads. Working on Narnia.
What do you do here? Like, what's your job?
Well, I have the honor of being the brand manager for the Chronicles of Narnia. Ever heard of it? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Have you been to Narnia?
Obviously. It's a wardrobe. You open the door and you go in.
But have you been to Narnia?
Yeah, that's why I got hired.
Is it cold there?
No.
I mean, it looks kind of cold there.
It's temperate.
That's cool.
Depends on who's in charge.
What's the White Queen like?
She's kind of mean, I'm not gonna lie. But she has a super cool crown, which I've made.
Oh my God, can I wear it?
Of course.
Oh my
made
God,
this.
that's so cool. Put it on me.
I'm really good at making crowns.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I'm keeping this.
Okay. Wait, I want it.
Nope, sorry. Now for an important message. Many of you watched our Book Nerd Problems episode about carrying too many books and expressed concern over the books that we dropped. I'm here to tell you that no books were harmed in the making of that episode, and we at Epic Reads would never harm any books. Ever. Never. Ever, never. Never, never. That's it for this week's Tea Time. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Oh, dance off.